Blessed be everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing a tarot card and it is the Ten of Wands today. And we're going to talk about this card. And while I'm talking about this card, tune into your own intuition. Tune into your own ability to be able to tell stories as we work through this card, because that's one of the ways I like to teach the tarot, through using the tarot as a storytelling device. Before we do that though, I'm Sandra from MysteryWitchSchool.com. I am the author of the Confident Tarot Reader, which is a course to help you learn to read the tarot with ease, with confidence, using your intuition and also your knowledge of the tarot cards. So if you're interested in doing that, check out the Confident Tarot Reader course. There's a link in the description field below this video. This channel is also about Wicca and witchcraft, magic, and also shadow work. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure that you do subscribe and also like the video and share the videos as well. So today it is the Ten of Wands. It's really not a bad card to pull. It really depends on your situation, but all this card is saying is that you've reached a point where something has been weighing you down, and the good news is you're at the end of it. Other aspects of this card that I see, particularly with this deck, okay, different decks have different pictures obviously, but this is a really interesting deck because if you look at it, you can see that from the position that the person is in, it actually looks like they're holding down the wands, trying to stop them from going up into the air, much like balloons would go up into the air if you didn't hold them down. And that's the posture on this card. And I can't help but think that it's deliberate, because Pamela Smith was a good artist, so I imagine if she wanted to depict this character as being really burdened by this in the way we'd normally think of being burdened, those wands would be actually weighing the person down visually. They'd be over the shoulder weighing them down rather than the person holding them down. So for me, this card indicates that we're kind of holding on to the burden, holding on to something. And if the wands are representing inspiration, creativity, then maybe it's a case of you holding those down somehow. It's like you're trying to hold something back and carry that something with you to this destination, which in this card appears to be a house right in the corner there. It's like they're taking their inspiration, their passions, and they're taking it, they're trying to keep it down to get to the destination. And then maybe when they get to the destination, they'll be building something, they'll be creating something. And I see that with this card, because this person really seems to be burdened by it, they seem to be exhausted by it, but why? Why hold these things down? Why stop the wands from being able to just take off and create? And the answer to that could simply be that when you're passionate about something, when you're inspired to do something, sometimes we burden ourselves by not allowing these things to flow or to give these things time to incubate and become something within us before we try to make it happen in the manifest world. Sometimes we carry our inspiration and our creativity and our fire and we won't let it go because we're frightened of making a start, procrastinating about making a start with something because of the fear of what that might mean if you actually end up successful at finishing it. There's a lot of fear there when we hold ourselves back and burden ourselves and oppress ourselves with these things because we're worried about what the result is going to be if we do start to follow our passions or to follow our inspiration. And that is one of the main reasons I think a lot of people procrastinate when it comes to their creativity. So are you procrastinating when it comes to your creativity? And what frightens you about pursuing that activity maybe even being successful at that activity. What's not safe about it? Why hold it down? Is it because you're not ready to work on it yet? Or is it simply that you're too oppressed to be able to let it fly, to let it go? Do you have beliefs about being able to follow your inspiration or follow that passion? Is it something that you've been told isn't the right thing to do? Is it something that you've been told, you can't have it? You're being greedy, or you're being selfish, or, you're being... so for example, if it's an artistic endeavor, you might come from a family that's very practical. And so they might see artistic endeavors as being a waste of time, or just being, too decadent or something like that. What's stopping you from really looking at what's inspiring you and your passions, and why you're holding them down and being oppressed from being able to really explore who you are and exploring that creativity? You're at a point with this where you can reach the end of it. You could actually let go and see what these wands could turn into if you did let them go. I feel this person is just simply burdened by their beliefs, by their upbringing, by how much they've been told you can't, not good enough, can't do it, it's not safe. A lot of the time we hold ourselves back from expressing our higher purpose because we're worried that if we do and we become who we truly know deep down inside we are, that we might turn into really horrible people, which usually rarely ever happens. Or that somebody or a number of people in your family or friends might get upset. They might not like that version of you. And so you're holding yourself back. Take a look at the card if you do have this deck, or have a look at it online. The Waite-Smith deck's everywhere online, and see what this card says to you about your particular situation if you're resonating with this card. If you do want to learn to read the tarot cards with ease, as I said at the beginning, the Confident Tarot Reader is there for you. It is a 7-module course, and you can do it in your own time. You can also have access to me too to ask any questions, and also you can submit answers to questions that I put in the course as well if you're wanting to get some feedback about what your readings are like when you do the mock readings. I can give you feedback on that too. Okay, Confident Tarot Reader, link in the description field below this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I am Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.